Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne, and I'm going to wait for a little bit before I start to see if anyone comes on. It usually takes about 5 or 10 minutes before notifications go out. So I have to go and set up things, and sharing out again, and remembering all the little things that you've got to do. So I'm going to make myself the first like. Okay, share. And we're going to do this. Live stream. Come say hello. Okay, there we go. Wait, it always puts up the ugliest photos. Okay. Hey, Sean. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Let me come back over. Okay. Um, hey, Sean. Sean Shepherd time. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Um, it's been probably 3 years since I started doing live streaming, and I have to put my glasses on. Hey, Cirrus Xerix, welcome, welcome, thank you. And I started off, I think it was Saturday, doing live streams again. It says more than one um, ingestion using the primary URL. Send the one stream to the primary. I don't know. Can you all see me? Okay, let me look here. Hey, Jack. Welcome, welcome. It says error. Hey, Big Mama. Welcome, welcome. It says error. More than one ingestion is using the primary URL. Send one stream to the primary. Hey, Lance. Welcome, welcome. I don't know what that means. So it says, well, I'll just ignore it for right now and hope it's going to be okay. Thank you, Cirrus. Um, I don't, this is so new again to me after being off for 3 years. Welcome, Galaxia. Thank you for being here. Um, and I just pop on. I don't give notification and saying, hey, I'm going to be on at 9:30 or 10 o'clock or whatever. And so I, um, I really just thought, I'm just going to come on and see if anyone shows up. I did StreamYard, and when I did StreamYard, no one showed up. So I'm not sure if I didn't do the settings right. So this is not StreamYard. This is, I am doing it straight through YouTube. And when you do it straight through YouTube, you can't bring anybody else up. It's just you. And when you have StreamYard, you can bring other people up. And so I'm not used to doing it. And, the camera setting, the lighting, all of that, the lighting is not very good. I'm in my sunroom, and it's in back of the house where my bedroom is. And it's off of my bedroom. And so it's all on Wi-Fi, and I have an old computer in here. And it's like 10 years old. All my other computers are new. Hey, Vex Magic, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming back. Thank you. And so I thought, I just got in. I just took a shower. I got in, ate something, took a shower. I had gone to the gym right before this, and I do my workout Monday through Friday, and then I, run every day as well. And then I went shopping. I had to do Christmas shopping. And we have a lot of parties coming up, and we have our family and everything. So I was out doing Christmas shopping and after the gym. So I did that. So I've had a busy day. And I went grocery shopping today. A lot of grocery shopping. We bought a huge order. My son went with me. And we did grocery shopping. And so it was good. It was good. But it's just a busy day. My days are busy. I don't rush. I like to enjoy whatever it is that I'm doing at the time. And I don't know how to get this off of here. It just says URL. I guess you all can see me, so I'm assuming you can see me. Okay. Um, Thank you, Cirrus. Vex Magic. Sean, I don't know that this is not a stream about that. We're talking tonight about Christmas. Okay. Um, but, perhaps I'll do a different live stream about that, about that topic. I do topics on everything. I talk about just about every topic. There's a few topics I don't talk about, Sean. One of them is I don't talk politics. Politics, I don't talk. That's not my lane. If I'm knowledgeable about a subject, then I will talk about it. Thank you, Big Mama. Thank you. But I do talk about a wide range of subjects. I don't like to get into um, what do you call topics? Controversial topics such as politics, because you're going to get two sides, 50% one way, 50% another, and you can't please anybody, and it's just not a good conversation. In person, I don't talk politics. I have my own, perspective, but I don't talk politics. Justine, not tonight. I'm not on StreamYard because I was having some problems with it yesterday. When I came on yesterday with StreamYard, nobody showed up, and I don't know what the problem was. So I switched over to YouTube, and then people showed up. So until I can figure it out, I'm probably not going to do that. But yes, Sean, I do all kinds of topics. You name the topic, and I pretty much covered it. Wisdom motivational channel, inspirational, and I talk, I share wisdom. I don't give advice. That's one thing I don't do. I don't do advice. I don't do suggestions. I just share with you how I see certain subjects and how I live my life. Sirius, I love um, diners. And I don't know if you saw the short I put up. We went for my husband's birthday to one of our favorite diners. Or walk or waddle or sprint or jog or whatever it happens to be. It doesn't matter. I'm out there. And that's 7 days a week. I've been doing that for years. And I'm very well known. People don't know my name necessarily, but they know me because they'll go, that's the lady that's out there on the trail every day, because it's alongside a road, a nice road. And people wave and they honk their horn at me and all that. And so I'm really well known in our community for out there every day. And then I come home and I usually do my motivational videos and I put those up. And then, of course, my school, I have classes somewhere in between all this. And then I go to the gym and I do a full workout. I do an hour and 20 minutes on the elliptical. And then I go over and do the machines, for strength. And then I come home that night, and after dinner and my family and everything, I dance. And usually my husband and I will go into our office. We have an office here in the house, and we'll just kind of relax and we'll watch something either on YouTube or we love this it's an old series. It's been on for about 10 years, but it's called Longmire. It's kind of a modern day Western. It's excellent, excellent. Yes, yes, Sean, yes. And um, so I love this new series. So we usually watch an hour, it's an hour show, and we'll watch that. And then my husband goes to bed because he gets up early, and then I start my college work. And here lately, I started the lives again, and so I'm hoping, I don't know on what consistency I'm going to do live streaming. It's just kind of whenever I feel like it, if I have something to talk about. So tonight's about Christmas parties, and it's also, um, I don't know what Ram Ranch is. Ram Ranch is, Sean. I don't know that. I've got to remember, I'm almost 70, so when it comes to music, I still, listen to stuff from the 60s and the 70s, the Beach Boys and disco I'm back there. I mean, I'm a child of the 60s and yeah, the 1960s and 70s. And I mean, in the 70s, I had the long midi maxi mini skirt. No, midi maxi. It was a coat, the coats for winter. And you would zip it and it would be a mini, a midi, and a maxi. I wore short skirts, hot pants, Hot Pants. That's how far I go back. Hot Pants, and disco. I loved disco. I really did. I thought disco was just really awesome. Um, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I'm not a gaming channel, and I don't play games, so I don't really know, Sean. Um, but nonetheless, I I'm just from the 60s and 70s, so I'm still, I grew up on really good TV programs. We had one channel. We had shows like Bonanza and Twilight Zone. I mean, they were good writing. The writing was good back then. And I think now the emphasis is on action and, a lot of um, overexcitement. People are overexcited now. I mean, if they don't get enough excitement there, they are on other things. They're on the internet, and yeah, I don't know what that is, Sean. I really don't. And but anyhow, yeah. So I uh, am excited about Christmas, and of course we celebrate it here at home because I have a family. I have three young adult kids and my husband, and we've always celebrated at home. We're home people. Like Thanksgiving, we're always at home. I mean, this year we went out with friends in the morning for Thanksgiving, but we also, then, in the evening we had our family all here. And so that's what we do. So it's all good. It's all good. And, but, getting used to doing these lives again, I would like to use StreamYard again. I would like to bring people up on the panel that I know. It has to be people that I know, and because one day this is like 4 years ago, I did a live stream and somebody kept wanting to come up and I let them come up, and I'm not going to tell you what they did, but I had to take the whole video down, and I had to end the live stream and restart it and take it down, and so I'm very careful about who I do bring up, and it's usually someone that has been invited already, and I usually know who it is. I don't. You mean Herman the Munster? Herman the Munster, from. I used to watch that show. I like that show, and the Addams Family. Yeah, those are the shows I grew up with. But so yeah. But anyhow, I like to hear, and I like to, um, just um, be connected in a more personal, more live way. And, whereas I'm a content provider, I do motivational inspiration. And I usually come on for 60 seconds. I do mostly shorts. I used to do longs, but I don't do longs that often. It's mostly shorts. And, 60 seconds or under for the most part. And it's usually a wisdom topic. It could be about anything because such wisdom comes to me. I mean, different topics, and I'll talk about them. Sometimes I'll share a little bit about my life. Um, I like to share about different topics. Like I wanted to talk tonight, and I was going to originally have my title about 45 years of home video. And so, as many of you know, because I put a lot of my home videos up, with my family and friends throughout the years, 45 years, I've been taking home videos. And I started off with a big old VHS camera. And then and that was with the big VHS tapes. And I would carry this big backpack around with the big, and I started videotaping. And I have videotaped so far back 45 years. And it's wonderful. I mean, from the time my husband and I met, we got married, we lived in Europe. All of our kids were babies, and we've got all those wonderful moments on video. My mom, my family, my relatives that have passed, that are already passed. It's wonderful to have them on video because it feels like they're right there with you. when you watch those videos. Um, it doesn't matter to me, Sean, and this is really not about talking about anybody else or anything like that. Okay, so we're just really yeah, we're really about this channel is friendly to people, and I don't discuss other people's personal business. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. And so, but, but, 45 years of home videos is wonderful. And I love that. I love, going back in time and being able to look back upon all the wonderful memories. So if you haven't started taking home videos, you may want to consider doing it. So how I converted all of my VHS tapes. Originally, I got back like the year 2000, I got one of those VHS to DVD converters. And I converted my VHS tapes to DVD. And now I don't think they make them anymore. Or if they do, mine broke. I didn't have one. So about two and a half years ago, I said to my husband, I want to yeah, I don't know Showbiz Pizza, Sean. I don't know it. And so I put, my husband went and he looked up, he was looking for one of the video converters, to DVD, and he found VHS to digital. And I said, well, how does that work? How can you take a VHS tape and convert it to digital? So fortunately, I had bought up like 20 old VCRs from the junk stores, the thrift shops, for like $1 a piece, and they all worked. And so you have to have a VCR. They don't make them anymore, so you have to find one. And then you put the tape into the VCR, play it on your TV, and you hook it into it this little you put it into it this little uh, digital converter, and it uploads everything to a thumb drive. And then you take the thumb drive and you carry it over to your computer, and then you load it onto an external hard drive so you don't overload your computer. And I mean, it's amazing, and that's how I did it. It took me about 2 years to convert all my VHS tapes, and I was doing it every day. I was doing it real regularly. And so it was um, it was just really, really, really cool. So um, yeah, let me just see here. Um, yeah, I'm just looking at stuff here. Okay, and okay, Fun Drive Lance. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, so I went and did all these videos, and I converted them from VHS tape over to digital. And truly, it is wonderful to be able to do that. And so I always encourage people, take a lot of video, especially if you have children or family that's getting old, because someday you're going to cherish those memories. And so I do. I really, really cherish all those memories, and I'm so grateful that I was able to convert it over to digital. And many of those videos, not all or anything, but many of them I shared bits and pieces of my life from the past, way before YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So if you go type in home movies, you'll see that. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be able to look back on your life. So if you have VHS tapes and you want to convert them, just look up digital converter, VHS to digital converter, and they're about $200. And they're very easy, very simple once you know what you're doing to convert it. And I did. And matter of fact, I had a relative that didn't have a VCR, so I gave them two of them so they could do the converter as well. They got the converter, they converted all their VHS tapes over. So a lot of people have all these VHS tapes and they don't even have a VCR to play them on and they don't know what to do with them. So there is a way. You just have to find an old VCR that works, connect it up, get your little digital converter, and you'll be able to convert those to digital. And so that was my big thing for 2.5 years. And I loved every moment of it because even though I wasn't here all the time when they were running and playing and copying, onto digital, because I'd put them in the VHS tape in and I'd leave the house and it would be copying while I was gone. So that was a continual thing I did. But, I'd walk through the room and I'd go, wow, I remember that. Or I don't even remember that. It's like, so many memories you forget, and the ones you do remember, you don't remember the details. You just remember being there. Like I went to Paris, but most of the details you forget. You remember you had a great time. You remember the Eiffel Tower. You remember being there. You remember who you're with, but you don't remember anything else. But when you have a video camera and you videotaped it, you have it all. You have everything there. And so it's really, really wonderful. And so, yeah. But anyhow, I am going to get off of here in a few minutes because you know what? It doesn't seem like, you know, a whole lot of people come on at this time or YouTube. I don't know if they're pushing me out like they used to. So I thought I'd pop on here and, just kind of get my feet wet again, doing live streaming. Like I said, I don't know how often I'm going to do it or if I'm going to do it or when I'm going to do it or anything like that. Um, but, it is fun to do live streaming. Um, I do enjoy it when, there was a time like 5 years ago when I first came on YouTube, and I don't know what happened with the algorithm in regards to my channel, but I used to get 400 and 500 people in my chat throughout the whole time, throughout, the beginning to the end. And it was amazing. It was wonderful, although it was a bit overwhelming with that many people because you couldn't keep up with the chat, you know. But then the algorithm for me changed because I was doing a tremendous amount of content. And I think the algorithm saw me as a content creator and not a live streamer. And it was sort of the brakes went on. And I don't think I was really pushed out the way I originally was. And so, yeah. And so so it's kind of like, and that was kind of one of the reasons why I stopped doing live streaming. I got very busy in my life. That was number one. And number two, when they quit pushing me out YouTube, where people knew that I was on, because a lot of people didn't see me that I had been on live until it was over. And then it's in replay. And so that's what happened, and so I just said, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to do any more live streams because I mean, if there's no one showing up and you're sitting there talking the whole time, um, there's no sense in doing it really. Hey, Richard, thank you for coming, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate you. Um, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here, Richard, because my husband and I are going to watch a show that we always watch called Longmire. It's on I think it's on Paramount. I don't think it's Amazon. I think it's Paramount. And I think they started making it in 2012, and I think it went through 6 seasons, 5 seasons, 6 seasons, I think, and then it ended. And we just discovered it. It's kind of a modern day Western about this sheriff in Wyoming. And it's a really good show, kind of like along the lines of Yellowstone, but not quite like Yellowstone. And I think I actually enjoy it a lot more than Yellowstone. It's not as quite as exciting as Yellowstone, and it's a better. I like the storylines better. So we usually watch one of the episodes at night, and we usually have one program that we sit down to and watch together. Because I don't watch TV or anything like that very much, and so I just so we do that, and then I got to do a little bit of schoolwork, and then, like I said last night, I ended up watching Bob Ross, the autobiography of Bob Ross on the Pluto channel. It was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, his journey, how he got started painting, painting. He was the painter on PBS, and he was the artist. Um, yeah, Richard, I just don't. I, I like good quality shows. I'm very, very mindful of what I watch. I don't like anything with violence or anything like that. So I tend to watch, I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch some of the TV shows from the 1950s. One of the shows that I liked, and I was watching, was the old black and white shows on, it was called Craft Theater. It used to come on Sunday nights. I think it was Craft Theater, and then there was another one. And I mean, it was wonderful. They had, like one of them was about the Titanic, and it was stories, and some of it was semi-historical. And it was so well done. I mean, there was quality writing, it didn't have all the excitement, with all the, what do you call it, special effects and all that. It didn't have that, but it was so good. And so I watch quality, what I call quality stuff. And a lot of it comes from, early television. But last night I watched Bob Ross and his autobiography, and I just thought it was so fascinating because I paint, I'm an artist, and how he got started. He had been a bartender up in Alaska, and he was married, and he started selling his paintings. And 350 shows. Was that Steve Smith Red Green Show, Canada reruns? Okay, I'll have to check that out, Richard. Um, but Bob Ross was so talented, and um, he connected. I mean, it was really interesting how he got his start. I mean, he was teaching some art classes, and someone saw him, and then someone said, "Hey, let's make a TV show." And I mean, he started off on PBS, and now, I mean, his shows still play to this day. Everybody knows who he is. His happy little world as he's painting. And I paint, and I went out today. I've got canvases sitting here. I don't know if you can see them. I got all kinds of canvases today. Big old canvases. Um, they were on sale, and at Hobby Lobby, and I went and I bought a lot of canvases. I've got one, two, three, four or five, I think. And I might go back and get more tomorrow because they are on sale. I love to paint. I mean, it's just it's kind of my own world, and it's a happy little world, and I just go into my own zone and make little mountains and everything like that. He could have been Lance. He could have been. He was amazing, but he was in the military. He was a bartender, and he painted, and he sold, I guess it was paintings or art, some kind of art on the side, from the bar. He was there, people saw his art and he'd sell it. And then he went to Florida, I think where he was originally from. And then his son came about a year later. And but he just, was a slow rise up. And then I think he became more famous after he died. He died, he was only 52. He died of lymphoma. I think it was lymphoma. He died of cancer. And he was so young, but he was so gifted, and he had such a wonderful personality. And, I just enjoy watching him. He's a comfort person. There are people that are comfort people. I think I'm one of those, people come to my house, they want a cup of coffee, a cup of cheese, a little bite to eat. We sit out on grandma's porch, that type of thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's wild. He has wild hair. I love it. I love his hair. I do. I do. Yeah. And so, yeah, I love, my channel is kind of like the Bob Ross channel, but not a painting channel, even though I'm an artist. And yeah, yeah, Richard. And I just, my grandma was a comfort person. We would go to her little house, and it was by the railroad tracks out in the country. It was a three-room house, and she raised her five daughters there. And it was, we went out there, and grandma always had a little bit of food on the table. We always had something to eat. I love Conway Twitty. Yep, Conway Twitty. I grew up with all those people. I mean, in the sense that I watched them on TV. I mean, everything, like I said, I'm from the 60s, 1960s and early 70s. You know, that goes a long ways back. Then, and yeah, we had one TV channel, so we didn't have a lot to choose from. Did not have a lot to choose from. So uh, that happens, Richard. It happens. And but as we age, our bodies change. Our bodies do change. Now, I've held up pretty good, I think. Because I take great care of myself. I eat healthy for the most part. I eat healthy unless we go, and then I'll kind of eat what I want. But I eat healthy. I drink a lot of water, and I get plenty of sleep, plenty of rest. I handle stress well, and I exercise a lot. And so far, so good. I don't take any medicines. Yeah, yeah. And but I enjoy, I enjoy, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Lance. I did not know that. I thought he got a hair transplant or something. I didn't, I don't really pay, I don't really pay too much attention, to things like that. But I don't watch news. The news is so, ugh, I don't watch it. I just don't. It's mostly negative. And, I want to live like in the Bob Ross world, my happy little world. And I think that, back in the day, we only got the 6:30 news at night for a half hour. And that was okay. But now people have got the news channel on 24/7, and they're so revved up from all this stuff. And a lot of it isn't even healthy. A lot of it is, incorrect news as far as I think. And you get stuff and people believe it. And oh my gosh, I just don't listen to it. I don't, I'm in my own little world, and I love my world. And I'm, like I said, I'm an artist, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I work out. I fine tuned my life throughout the years to a place that I really love what I do. And that's why I come on YouTube, is to inspire people to find their own best life. We all have challenges. Everyone gets challenges. Everyone gets different kinds of challenges. And so it's what we do with what we have to work with that will create our best life. And no one's best life looks the same. Yeah. And and so I just I just yeah, I don't even really um yeah, I never noticed that. I'll have to look if I ever see him on TV again. But yeah. Well, I'm going to get off of here. I thank all of you for coming. Like I said, I pop on when I feel like it. I really be on here, maybe often, maybe not. Sometimes I may do StreamYard. It's, like I said, if YouTube doesn't push me out, there's really, I might as well just do um, my regular. content because I don't want to mess up the algorithm any more than it's messed up for me, in the sense of, they have me, I think, pegged as a content provider, and that's what I am, you know. Um, and so, I'm a content provider. I'm not um, really a live streamer. So that's probably why I'm not pushed out. But anyhow, I'm going to go watch Longmire with my husband. And thank you for your support. Okay. And have a wonderful day. And make sure to take home movies. Okay. Talk to you soon. Good night.